I am Mark Stewart Greenstein. This is for April 5th. This weekend marks the anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's shooting 50 years ago. I want to talk about his legacy because it has been perverted by the leftists. There's no doubt about it. What Dr. King stood for is the opposite of what the modern political left wants. He preached tolerance. The political left are absolutely intolerant of our most fundamental guarantee in the amendments, First Amendment, freedom of speech. They want to quash it. The left does not let others speak freely. They shut down speakers whose views differ from them. They do it with threats and actual violence. Okay? That's not American. That's certainly not what a peaceful protester, Martin Luther King, and all those who followed him then and since would have wanted. Martin Luther King would not be a Democrat today. He is strong enough to have thrown off what this party leadership, anyway, has become. This leadership, when it buys into leftists, asks blacks to have their own dormitories. King would be revolted by that. Blacks to have their own graduation ceremonies. This is not wholesomeness. This is segregation, and it's being done voluntarily. Now, if the society around you is so odious and so oppressive, it makes sense to segregate yourself. America is the best society for people of every color in world history. We know that, but the leftist agenda does not want people to recognize that. Blacks have it better in the United States than anywhere else, anywhere in history. Ask all the black Africans, now African Americans, who've come here over the last 20 years. And they are the best immigrants. Those from Ghana, Senegal, Kenya, they have the American spirit probably more than most native-born Americans because they've seen what oppression in other countries does. And guess what? The majority of most recent immigrants from Africa are conservatives. Thank God that they're not infected by the leftist rhetoric that plays to people of their color. Thank God they don't see by color, as many of the leftists do. The leftist argument is almost inherently racist, okay? That color matters. And this is what Dr. King's legacy is unfortunately wreaking. Where he said race shouldn't matter, the modern left says race does matter, that it matters in your ideas, it matters in who you should associate with. Please put them at a big distance, as America should be doing day in, day out. This is not an American trait. This is not an inclusive trait. This is not the legacy that Dr. King and the followers who fought hard for civil rights would have wanted. Modern Democrat leaders in Washington have kept black Americans down. They do not improve the school systems in urban areas dramatically. David Duke couldn't be happier than seeing what kids, black kids in urban schools are compelled to face. Modern black leadership stymies business. It shouldn't. Business is the best uplifter for African Americans, whether they are working for business or being business people of their own. And finally, modern black leaders call themselves progressives. I call themselves leftists. They make blacks separate from a caring, multiracial society that has the ability to uplift by being inclusive. You don't want to be Marcus Garvey's. You don't want to be Malcolm X acolytes. That marks the anniversary, April 5th, 1856, of another great black leader, Booker T. Washington. He was a very inclusive leader. He truly helped a lot of blacks recovering from true segregation, the Reconstruction era that he helped lead blacks out of by asking for open-mindedness. Let my people do their stuff. We will do it very well and uplift ourselves. We like your help at times. Generally stay out of our way, and we will be the fulsome, full Americans that we always should have been. It'll just be delayed. I don't like delay, but I hate retardation. And that is what the leftists do to the African American community. Please resist it. They are not in your corner when they say that separation of ideas is inherent, that there's a black way of thinking. There is not. They are not helping people when they say that Ebonics is just another way of expressing yourselves. It is a condemnation. Anyone speaking Ebonics and thinking that it's actually a language is hurting himself in the marketplace. There are some things that are worth accommodating a little bit for a great good. Nobody around you is trying to oppress anymore. Recognize that, and please push those leftists to the far left or off of the board totally. I'm Mark Stewart. Thank you for listening.